Now in a database you have tables, okay, and in your tables you have rows and you have columns. Now the rows carry records of a particular individual or a particular ID. Okay, we'll talk about an ID. And the column carries a specific record about each ID in that particular table. So you might have something like an ID. Now an ID is a unique identifier that separates one particular record from another in a table. Okay, so now that's an ID. So an ID has its own column, and it's always a number which is set to auto increment without the user doing it manually. So you can decide to have a username as a column of its own. You can decide to have password as a column of its own. You can decide to have first name, okay, and last name, and as so many of them as you want. Email. Okay, now let's stop there. So all these now become columns in your database. So if we are going to follow what I just did here, that means our columns will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So in that case, we'll put 6 columns here and go. Click on go to open where we'll fill our table columns or names for our column. So the first one we have here is an ID, okay, and the data type, we treated data type in PHP and the videos. The data type is the same, just some slight difference when it comes to SQL. So here we have an ID of int, which stands for integer, and the length, we want the length to just be 2 characters long. We don't want more than 99 users there. So here you have something called let's go to the right a little. So you have something called AI. Okay, now the AI means auto increment. Now what this means is for each record that you add to the database, this particular column will auto increment itself to update the ID of that particular record. Okay, now if you don't understand that, don't worry, when we get into it practically you'll see what I'm talking about. So here we have first name, okay, we have last name, we have email, we have password, okay, we have username here, username. Okay, now anytime you're writing names for columns in a table, it's always advisable not to write with spaces. It's either you're writing them join in a joint form, or you're separating them using an underscore, or but do not give spaces while writing them because it might create an error in your database. Okay, now for first name, we want the data type to be variable character, is varchar, and you see it gives us a hint. Says a variable character has a length of 0 to 65, 535 at most, and it's a string. The effective maximum length is subject to the maximum row size. So here we are going to put 50 characters. Same thing goes here. Okay, let's do that quickly. 50 characters here, and our email, we want our email to be 70 characters, for instance. Now our password, we want our password to be, let's set our password to be a variable character for now. We'll talk about passwords later. And we'll set that to be 36. Okay, now the proper way to set a password here is not a variable character, okay, unless you know you're going to use an MD5 hash in PHP to encrypt the password. Okay, so that is it. If you're going to encrypt the password, then you use a variable character so that PHP will now encrypt the password and place the value of the encrypted password on this particular column. Okay, so the username, same thing as variable character, and here we'll do 50. Now when you are through with what you're doing, you click on go to create the table. Okay, now it automatically creates the table when you click save, and your table becomes saved in your database. As you can see, we have one database in our table called user, though we don't have any record in it yet. But that is how to create a database and a table in a database on phpmyadmin. Now in the next video, we're going to look at more things we can do with phpmyadmin. But until then, see you in the next